Pie Dreamers. Today we are out of my gardens, believe it or not, and into my kitchen because I'm going to share with you my mother's oil and milk pie crust recipe. If you've always had trouble making pie crust, mixing the solid shortenings in, cutting it in with knives, making sure it's cold enough, using either butter or lard or the solid shortening in a can, this is going to help you, I think. This is a recipe that my sisters and I have used for decades, and it works every time, and it's as easy as pie. Stay tuned and enjoy. Here are the ingredients for the pie crust. We need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a cup of vegetable oil, and a 1/4 cup of milk. It's the simplest pie crust I know of. It was my mom's recipe. My sisters and I all use this. It's just a matter of dump and mix, pretty much. So there goes the flour in. Put a teaspoon of salt in. Now what I do with the oil and milk, I put them both in the same container, like that. I don't mix it there. I just put it in like that. I get the salt in a little bit into the flour, mixing it with just a fork. And then I dump this in, the oil and the milk, and mix. There's no cutting in the fat of whatever, butter or lard or Crisco that you might, solid shortening I should say, you might have used. It's just a matter of mixing, and it automatically turns into the crumbly mixture that you want for making pie crust. They are flaky. You want your milk to be cold. It always helps to have cold ingredients for pie crust. Okay, and you don't want to overwork it, so I would say there's a bunch of large clumps and small clumps, but see how nice that looks. Alright, I'm going to get my wax paper for rolling, and we'll be back. Now this recipe will make 2 small pie crusts, like a top and a lower, or in the case like what I'm doing today, I'm making a larger pie. I'm going to start with one, like for a pumpkin pie where you just have a bottom pie crust. I just recently got this silicone pastry mat, and I think I'm really going to like it. I think I'll still give it a little spritz. This is my mister that has olive oil in it. Just a little bit of a spray here. And I'll take out some crust. And I will cover that with a piece of wax paper. Now I used to just take 2 pieces of wax paper, one under and one over, and roll that way. But I wanted to try this mat. And see, it has the surface to help you judge the size. I remember Tupperware used to have something similar way back when. They probably still do. But this is silicone. And I can't say I'm convinced silicone is a good thing to cook with, but I am trying it today. Okay. Rolls well. pie crust lives up to his name and the saying, easy as pie. And you can't get much easier. Alright, so now I'll take my pie plate, invert it. I'm going to go right underneath the whole shebang after I take my wax paper off and just push it into the pie crust like that, pie pan. And then let's see how this releases. So far, so good. Perfect. Alright, now we'll just adjust it into the pie plate. I'll sit for this part. Alright, now I am going to rob Peter to pay Paul here. Still a little crust from one end to patch up the other side to make it all even. Yeah, I would say that recipe makes one large crust for a one crust pie. I'm going to make lots of pies today, so I'm going to be doubling and tripling the recipe and as I go along. Now, to make your edge, your fluted edge, I usually just roll the sides enough to make it a little thicker. Again, borrowing where I need to. And I just press like that between my fingers to make the fluted edge. This was a recipe my mom used, and my sisters make the same pie crust. It's an oil and milk pie crust. Comes out flaky, looks great, easy to use. Give it a try.